Hello everyone, and welcome to the official video tutorial on how to use GRAPE Mars. Here you can see the outline of this video and the different timestamps for each part. To go to each part of the video, please click on the timestamps shown on the screen. GRAPE Mars is a free web-based open source analysis video software compatible with all operating systems with Google Chrome access. It was developed by GRAPE, the group for research on academic and professional English at Universitat Jaume I in Spain. In particular, GRAPE focuses on the study of professional and academic discourse from a multimodal perspective, as well as on content and language integrated learning. The word Mars from GRAPE Mars stands for Multimodal Analysis Research Software. To access GRAPE Mars, go to mars.grape.uji.es in Google Chrome and press the button Access GRAPE Mars. It is preferable to access the software through a computer rather than other devices.
The first thing that you need to do is to create a new folder in your documents or in the desktop of your computer. To do so, click on Select, then create a new folder. In this case, we have already created one, and then allow the system to edit files. The program will save in this folder the documents of your analysis. After doing that, we will create a library. Libraries are compilations of the modes you intend to analyze. By creating a library, you can organize these modes into annotations and sub-annotations and use categories to group them. These libraries can be exported later to use in your project, that is, your analysis. To create a library, we need to click on Library, then on New Library, and write the name for it. In this case, as an example, we will call this library Taxonomy for Online Videos. You can edit the name of the library at any point by clicking on the library that you have just created, and then on the pencil icon. After clicking on the library, we're going to introduce a taxonomy for this study, which can include language characteristics, gestures, etc., or any other taxonomy that you may be interested in. To do so, click on the plus sign. In this case, as an example, we're going to name it gestures. Then add the category by clicking on this plus sign. Categories allows us to classify the different annotations that we may have included to create our taxonomy. They are optional, and as you can see, you can assign different colors to them. In this case, we're going to call the category Embedded Modes. Once you have created the annotation, you can add the sub-annotations just by clicking on it and on the plus sign on the sub-annotations column. For example, we're going to create a sub-annotation named the 8-tick gestures. You can create as many sub-annotations as you wish. The sub-annotations can have a description if you think it is necessary, and you can also select a different color for each sub-annotation to distinguish between them. In this case, we're going to define the 8-tick gestures as pointing. If you consider that any of the annotations need to be modified, you can do it by clicking on the 3 dots on its right. Which is the same case for the sub-annotations. You will also have the possibility to delete it. Once you create your whole taxonomy, you will see something like this. In case you have many annotations and you want to find a specific category, GRAPE Mars allows you to filter them by categories by clicking on this sign. Then, to return to the section of GRAPE Mars with all your projects, click on the arrow and then on Projects.
In this part of the video, we will create a new project. To do so, click on New Project and provide a title for the new project. For example, the title of our project is going to be Analysis of Online Videos. Then, choose one of the libraries that have been previously created. In this case, we will select the library created in the previous step. That is, the taxonomy for online videos. But watch out! Projects can only be compared if the library is identical. Now, select one video by clicking on Select a Video. Please take into account that you can select two videos if you are going to analyze both at the same time. This can be the case, for example, if you have two videos for the two people in an interview, or for showing the speaker and the audience in a class or in a conference. If you wish to select two videos, make sure they are synchronized. Next, click on Create. But remember, to see this bar, you may have to scroll down or zoom out using Ctrl- if you are using Windows, or Command- if you are using Mac. The video is processed to extract the AI-generated transcript and the waveform. During the process of audio transcription, the audio is extracted and processed in the GRAPE server. Then, the transcription is sent to the software, and the data associated with it are deleted from the server to guarantee your anonymity. This may take a few minutes or even longer, depending on the length of the video and the people processing the video at the same time. You will see the percentage as it is processed.
Once the video has been processed, you will see something like this. In this part of the video, we will annotate the modes. To do so, please click on Projects in the top left column to access the annotation panel, and then select the project you want to annotate. Here, you will see your annotations on the left column of the layers of the analysis, the audio waveform, and the transcriptions, which you will be able to edit if you double-click on the stripes. Now it is time for your annotation work. For a more comfortable annotation experience, please note that you can hide the waveform by clicking on the eye icon, slow the speed of the video down by clicking on the clock icon, turn up or down the sound with the volume icon, and take screenshots with the camera icon. These screenshots are saved in the Downloads folder of your desktop in PNG format. You can also make the image of the video larger by moving down the lower part of the screen. For annotating, search the part of the video where you want to place the annotation, for example here, and then double-click on the tier showing the timeline. A scroll-down menu will appear with all the sub-annotations from which you will have to choose one. Bear in mind that if you do not select a sub-annotation, the annotation created is marked as a general annotation. You can enlarge the space of the annotation, move it, or make it smaller. You can also change the order of the tiers or layers upwards or downwards just by dragging and dropping them. If you want to make any changes in the library because they are necessary during the annotation process, you can do it by clicking on Library, and then following the same procedure to edit each annotation and sub-annotation that has been explained previously. That is, by clicking on the three dots, and then on Edit. That modified library will only appear in the project for which it was created. If you want to use it for other projects, you can do it by clicking on Saved as Template. This library will be saved on your computer, and you will be able to import it in your future analysis, just as we have done with the library in this tutorial.
In this part of the video, we will comment on the analysis of modes and the possibilities for the representation of results. To access the analysis panel, when you have finished annotating your video, you can go to the Analytics section at the top left side. You must create a new analysis and give it a name. To do so, click on New Analysis. In this case, we are going to name it Analysis of Online Videos Project. Then you must also add the projects that you want to analyze. To create the analysis, we must click on Create. Next, you must click on the analysis that you have just created. You will access this section, in which you will have to create a sub-analysis to see the data. To create a sub-analysis, click on the plus sign. In this case, we are going to call it sub-annotation. Once we create the sub-analysis, you must choose between the options that you are offered in each one of these three menus: Analytic Type, Scope of Analysis, and Level of Analysis. This will define the results of all the analysis. In the section of Analytic Type, you may choose between General if you are interested in obtaining all the data, and Co-occurrences if you want to compare the simultaneous occurrences of several annotations within the whole video, in two parts of the same video, or in several projects. For example, we are going to choose General. In the section of Scope of the Analysis, you may choose between the whole project or some fragments of it. For example, in this case, we could choose to focus specifically on gestures. And then you choose the level of analysis. You may choose to analyze the categories, annotations, or sub-annotations. For example, we are going to choose sub-annotations. Now you can see the results in a table that displays time, number of occurrences, and percentage of time for each variable. That is to say, the categories, annotations, or sub-annotations. In addition, you can export this data in an Excel format by clicking on Export.
Here you can see a comparative analysis of the modes regarding the number of occurrences and the time. In addition, you can find the visual representation of the data in balloons of different colors and sizes, again regarding the number of occurrences and the time. You can also find this information in the form of radar charts, pie charts, bars graphs, and in a timeline where you can select the range of seconds that you're interested in analyzing. You can export all of these files in PNG format. Remember that your files will always be saved in a folder of your computer and that you can edit and modify them whenever you want. If you wish to share them, it is better to zip and send. The receiver will also be able to edit the files and save them in their computer. And with that, the analysis of the video will be complete. Please write to grapemars@ugi.es in case you have any questions. You can follow GRAPE on social media. In addition, although GRAPE is an open source software that is free to use, we would appreciate a citation if you use it in your research. You can cite GRAPE as a software using APA 7th edition, as you can see on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. We will be looking forward to your feedback and news about your publications with GRAPE.